and thanks for joining me here on US Tzu Chi 360. I'm your host, Dilbar Chatterson, and I've got a few fun facts to share with you today. Did you know that across the US, the average volunteer puts in about 50 hours annually to volunteer work? That's a number from the Corporation for National and Community Service and balances out to a little less than an hour a week. But did you also know that the group that puts those 50 hours to shame is made up of Americans above the age of 65? That's right. The CNCS reports that they put in a whopping 90 hours a year on average. So, as part of the volunteer workforce, they are perhaps among its strongest and most valuable resource. And in today's program, Tzu Chi volunteers across the country are going to show you how they're making an offer you can't refuse. Let's take a look.
Godfather was the same group as I was. We called him Godfather. He is an interesting person. Every time he sees me, even though I am not team leader anymore, he would still call me team leader. We had a special bond since then.
Chen Chang, who is 87 years old, is who Southern California volunteers would call Godfather. He is one of the earliest volunteers in Southern California. Even 25 years ago, Godfather treated every volunteer like one of his own.
After joining Tzu Chi, he has helped the Dharma family. When he used to drive, he would drive to help the Dharma relatives. He is older now and shouldn't be driving. It's my turn to take over.
我86年去看师父，师父问我，说是你从哪里来？我说我从洛杉矶来，洛杉矶，你可不可以给我播种？我说那个时候他的口音我听不太懂，我说什么播种啊？去宣传呐，我边师父都安尼讲。
This simple thought had continued on for 25 years, even though his energy now isn't like before. Still, Chen Chang volunteers at the Cerrito recycling station when he gets the chance.
他会寄报纸来，会带。他寄来了，我就去 copy 我就去买2台那个 copy machine 一次才够 copy 6个。
他现在已经快进入。He is almost 87 years old now. Look at his age and how determined he is to walk the path of Tzu Chi. It really touches us all.
这个慈济这条路，那让我们也非常的感动。
不会累的，这个还是说环保嘛，就是说是上帝，像师父说是你爱地球，就是要做环保啊。
我们大家都很怀念我们。
We missed the past. We always interacted, had tea events, and shared our experiences. I feel that if we brought him to the recycling station, everyone can gain something out of it. I would be grateful too.
大家都有所得，我也很高兴。
很开心，交了很多朋友啊。
I often say, please take care of yourself. Your health is now my blessing. That way, I can still help Tzu Chi.
Chen Chang's son, Peter Chen, is a doctor in Southern California's Tima. He follows the steps of his father to help others. Peter could be seen at almost every Tzu Chi free clinic.
Because he is devoted to Tzu Chi, I donated my money to the foundation. Even today, he is still the same. Tzu Chi priorities are the most important. Every day, he wholeheartedly does his morning and evening practice. He has learned Master's precepts very well.
如果怎么着，我说有的不理他的我没照顾。
He will only have meals after the morning and evening practice. Every time I see him kneeling down, I feel that this is something I must learn to do. He worked until there were cuts all over his hands. I would tell him to stop working, but he would always continue. He felt that if it made others healthy, he should do it.
You need to be persistent to be healthy and to do good deeds. 20-some years later, Tzu Chi is a beautiful part of Godfather's life.
送给慈济有缘的要的人都有500个出去了，谁送的？干爹送的啦！很好，谢谢，我不要谢谢了，祝你身体健康。
I love you, Dad.
Thanks to the example our little Godfather sets for the rest of us, we see how dedication to humanitarian work doesn't have to settle down with age. In fact, I want to take you to another volunteer who also hasn't let setbacks in his personal life prevent him from giving back. In fact, they're actually what has motivated him to do better, give back, and give more. Now let's meet the very determined Alvaro de los Santos in California.
In the end of 2006, I joined Tzu Chi as a volunteer because I can speak Spanish. So sisters from Cerritos invited me to visit a care recipient.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Hola. Thank you so much. Hi.
Te traímos algunas comidas. 那一天去的时候，其实还蛮
I was quite touched when I went that day because they live in a small house with one living room and one room, and I felt how difficult their living environment was.
受到他们环境很困苦。
My name is Mr. Alvaro de los Santos. I studied in Mexico. I had my own office. I made trips around America Latina, but we came to this country to look for a new treatment for my son. My son has cerebral palsy, and we came to this country to look more benefits for him.
But unfortunately, Alvaro and his family would find no respite in America.
My wife suffered diabetes syndrome. She needs dialysis 3 times per week. She's waiting for a new kidney. My first son, Sebastian, is working. He's helped me with the economic issues, and for me, paralyzed, I can work. But every day we try to not suffer. We're looking forward, always.
他们还是很有爱心，然后
They have loving hearts and work together as a family. It makes me think that the difficulties I encountered were not problems at all. At least I could go visit them and help them often, make them feel that in the U.S. they are not
在
alone.
这边美国就是自己一个人。
It's not the economic issue. It's the love, is the advices, is the friendly, the example, is the food.
因为我们常常去关怀他们，然后我们会带一些
Because we visit them often, we bring food for them. We recommended that they should change their diet. They used to eat a lot of meat. Now they slowly eat more and more vegetables and fruits.
多吃一点蔬菜、水果。
If Tzu Chi is not behind me, I can do it for my family, nothing.
所以他们也想要回馈
They want to give back to Tzu Chi, so he joined our team of volunteers.
我们的 volunteer 的行动。
2 hours of my time for the foundation is 2 hours of my work of our good things for others.
然后他有空的时候
When he is free, he would come to the Cerrito office to help us work with recycling and folding newspapers.
What I am doing there is recycling the materials to build a lot of things, including the blanket. And this blanket is going to poor people around the world.
他们如果能帮助
If he can help others, that is great. So during the Southern California forest fire, he adopted one of our bamboo banks and later donated his first bamboo to be used as disaster relief funding for the forest fire.
我的救火基金。
And then you donate for $100.
Yeah, this it. One friend at co-worker told me, you know what, do you receive pay for it? I said, no. Why? In this country, nobody gives nothing for nothing. Why you do it?
They touched my heart. They changed my life. I appreciate what happened with the environment. I understood what is the importance of this life, the love and to take care for the others. The Tzu Chi Foundation is my family.
时间算一算也很快，已经7年多了。
Time flies. It has been more than 7 years. Hopefully in the future we can continue caring for them because we are really like a family now.
一家人一样。Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Are stories like Alvaro's uncommon? For someone who, from the outside, appears to have little to give, to be a consistent supporter and donate their resources to a larger cause? In the founder of Tzu Chi, Master Zhang Yan's eyes, everyone is qualified to give. In a talk she gave last March in Hualien, not only does she suggest that they are qualified, but that they are worthy, meaning the privilege of giving is itself the reward. Our next story of a volunteer from New York shows us just that. On August 22, 1981, Far Eastern Air Transport crashed in Sanyi, Taiwan, causing the deaths of 104 passengers and crew. Among those who passed away was one of the first assembly members, Xu Guangzhou, His wife, Yiling Zhou, was living in New York and has since lived in the Flushing area.
有一张照片是我跟先生一起合照的，那我就心里想，火葬之前就把我那个两个人的照片，我就给我摆到我那衣服的口袋里头，就一块就走了吗？
In 1997, Yiling Zhou wrote to the Tzu Chi New York office saying she is an elder living by herself. With the letter, she included a $10,000 check for Tzu Chi to build Dalian Hospital. Since then, she has had a family bond with Tzu Chi. It's been 17 years and Tzu Chi is still a part of her life.
照顾周妈妈的同时，
When we took care of Zhou Mama, we worked as a team, so we did not only have 1 or 2 people, we had a team. My husband and I would take care of the outside, such as the lawn and the trees around the house, and we would invite sisters and brothers to come and trim the lawn.
师兄师姐一起来。
May's husband, Shincheng Shao, was diagnosed with terminal cancer in 2008. Yiling Zhou, at the time 89 years old, insisted on visiting him.
师兄身体
When my husband was not feeling well, I went to her and told her we were going back to Taiwan for some errands. When we come back, Zhou Mama said it will be okay. I am waiting for you all to see me off. How can anything happen to you all?
可以有事呢？
他第一次来看你呀，
来看你，周妈妈呀，
来看你呀，他挂着你呀，挂着你的心啊。
我们要时间去看他，怎么他来看我？对呀，对。
你不要想的太多。
可惜的是，我师兄还是先。
Unfortunately, my husband still left before she did. After my husband passed away, during his farewell ceremony, she felt that she had to see him off. Otherwise, she would not feel well. And she felt she had to come to see me too. This relationship had exceeded our expectations when we first met. Strangers can have such a good bond with each other. The cycle of love, one passed on to another. Volunteers take care of Zhou Mama, and she treats every volunteer like one of her own.
I interacted with her day in, day out, by phone or visiting her in person. I have treated her as my mother, so she kept calling me daughter San San. No one brought food for her other than Tzu Chi volunteers. She had isolated herself from the world and she did not get in touch with any other people.
加入慈济已经20多年了，大家感情都有了，所以他们也相信我，我也相信他们。
到了她眼睛完全看不到。When she couldn't see, her banking errands would be taken care by me as well. I would invite 2 or 3 sisters to bring her to the bank. When her CD is due, I will help renew it.
这是 CD 到期了，我们就去帮她去 renew 她的 CD。
In September 2013, Yiling Zhou had invited a lawyer to her house to witness that she would leave all her belongings to Tzu Chi. Over 17 years, she had donated almost $500,000 US to the foundation.
我有生之年，我这个钱花不完，尽量做点善事，对我就是一个很大的安慰。因为我现在需要把它赶紧交给慈济。既然我有这个心呢，我就不能够再拖，为了10万凑成10万不比了，就是有多少就算多少。
遗产处理任何有关的费用从这边出，剩下的呢，统统捐给慈济。
对，就是希望早点通知人家把坑挖好了，那就是说在这个。宾馆买一个装骨灰坛子那个就好了。我希望当天给慈济所有的师兄师姐吃一餐饭，我就是感谢大家照顾我。
不用感谢，这是我们应该的这个。表示我感谢他们，也是结来生的缘。
好。
Yiling Zhou said she wants to bond with Tzu Chi volunteers in the next life. After 33 years of living on her own, on January 22, 2014, she passed away at the age of 95. But even then, Tzu Chi volunteers were with her till the end. Because of volunteers like Yiling Zhou, we become responsible for doing her donations and continuous service justice. And the same goes for all elder volunteers. If they invest so much time, energy, and effort to helping others instead of taking it easy and relaxing in their golden years, are we to let their efforts go to waste? Or do we roll up our sleeves and pitch in? I want to take you back to California, where a son and his silver-haired mom are working together to make the world a greener place for the rest of us.
做环保，做相机。当时来上课，做相机就爱计较啊。2年前啦，所以就爱参加课啊。我嘛是100题嘛甲考过啊，所以拢有计较。
Just introducing my mother to the teachings of Buddha is not enough for me to repay her for being my parent. So I encouraged her to be a commissioner of the Dharma family, because Master said Dharma family bonds are even stronger. I encouraged my mother to be certified, and we were both certified as commissioners in the same year.
90岁啊，每拜时来1拜，后面是大底西米巴底，所以比较远。开车没有塞车的话，1个钟头半。
学了很多包容的事情。
I learned a lot about forgiving and accommodating. These items were all categorized, but they threw them out randomly. So we must learn to forgive and appreciate that they gave us the opportunity to sort them out and pick them out. In recycling work, we cultivate our wisdom.
可以产生智慧出来，你的慧命会增长。
愈做愈快乐，做到身体拢无毛病，无毛病，身体勇，安尼就好。
从小我就不在妈妈身边。
When I was little, I was separated from my mother. She wasn't very strict towards us.
她没有要求我们要。
She never demanded that we attain a lot of education or make a lot of money.
说要我们赚多少钱，她就是一直包容你。
She just loves and forgives, just like that. For me, I want to be her son again in another lifetime. She is such a great mother.
会当安尼做足快乐，足幸福。
While recycling has given the mother-son pair great fulfillment, there are, of course, so many different ways you can achieve the same sense of accomplishment. There are volunteers across the country who seek to find what it is that motivates them to keep coming back to the addictive drug that volunteerism is for them. So now let's meet a volunteer from Vietnam who has found a way to grow with Tzu Chi in America's largest state, Texas.
睇電腦嘅睇電視，開住大個台，一起身就開大個台㗎嘛，做嘢。
If you want to do fundraising, you have to talk about Tzu Chi. Look, I use computer. I will see if there are new update news. I need to keep up to date so I can share with people.
你才可以跟人家分享。
In 2000, Jennifer joined the foundation after she received a Tzu Chi magazine. She would speak to everyone about Tzu Chi and introduce its work as opportunities presented themselves.
As for members, I really don't know them. There are people who became members when I go shop in their stores. I bought Tzu Chi magazine for them to take a look. Later on, when I go shopping, they ask if they can be my members. I was so grateful. There were one that I met on the airplane. She introduced 7 to 8 members to me.
As of now, Jennifer's recruited 130 new members, including people and store owners she didn't personally know. There are even new recruits from Tzu Chi's charity programs. To have these members understand Tzu Chi, Jennifer's day now includes scheduled visits to the people she's recruited.
I used to bring Tzu Chi magazine to the owner of the picture frame store. Some of the people asked me afterwards if they can be my member. They had mentioned it themselves. I was so grateful. I didn't have to ask them at all.
I used to donate as well, but not to Tzu Chi. After I knew Sister Jennifer, my usual donations would go to Tzu Chi.
They would also refer people to me. to be my members, so any salon refer over 10 people to me.
She is very enthusiastic, very enthusiastic. I think what she is doing can help a lot of people. Virtue is to practice Dharma. You listen to the Dharma, and then you practice it.
There are a lot of care recipients who would like to give back because we continuously visit them, so they became my member too.
Hi. Oh, one more. I don't know where he is. Okay. Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful. The rose water is that one. That
Spanish.
One. Spanish. Wow. Very important people from my life.
Recruiting members and devoting herself to community charity, Jennifer, who is from Vietnam, always put herself in other people's shoes.
We can become the helping hands for others. We are their hope. I wish that I can do what I can to give them peace of mind.
When she first joined Tzu Chi, she did not know anything. But thanks to the teachings from our sisters in Tzu Chi, she had learned a lot. Her judgment is more accurate now.
In 1975, after being married for 17 months, Jennifer's husband was forced to leave home to escape from communism in Vietnam. They separated when Jennifer was 7 months pregnant. 6 years later, they were reunited in Houston, Texas.
The elders in our charity program would miss us if we hadn't gone for a week due to busy schedule. When I go see the elders, it felt like I'm seeing my parents. My parents had passed away. I didn't have the chance to do things for them. So now I can do this for the elders instead. I'm grateful for my parents and Master Cheng Mian, giving me the chance to love and care for the elders. I wish the elders can receive love and fulfill their spiritual needs. This cannot be given with materials. A lot of their children didn't go visit them. They told me, I'm lonely, I want to die. What can I do when they say that? I have to go visit them. If you do not have blessing, how can you help others? So I had made a wish to do Tzu Chi work till I die.
Thanks to the stories of people like Jennifer and all the others we've met today, we can see how volunteerism has added a silver lining to the lives of those who are coming into their golden years. And like the Jingsa aphorism goes, a fulfilling life is not preoccupied with material objects, prestige, or power. It is a life that is filled with true friendships, sharing and caring for each other. I hope you all load up on those for the years to come. I'm Dilbar Chatterson. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon.